for this very special
Walaikum
session.
assalam.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to request all of you to switch off your mics, please, so that we don't interrupt the speaker. Please kindly switch off your mics, mute your mics, please, so that we don't interrupt the speaker while she's talking. And obviously, during the question and answer round, whenever Dr. Gulnaz wishes for anyone to answer a question, at that time, they're more than welcome to mute their mics. Mrs. Nikhat, you can start recording. I think you have already. For those of us, sometimes people do get in late and they want to, hear the recording later. You can start the recording now. Like I said, it's such a pleasure and a privilege to welcome all of you. Before I introduce my very, very special guest, a little bit about who we are and what we do. Parho and Parhao is a very unique program which started in the summer of 2020. It was founded by Mrs. Nikhat Jameel. It is supported by Mrs. Sana Junaid and myself, Samira Mohsin. It all started off with our endeavor to empower young students to give something back to the community. And it was a long summer for a long and a very strange summer, obviously, with most of the kids being stuck at home. So it was a very good opportunity for the kids to give something back to the community by teaching younger students. So what started off with students who were teaching other kids basic subjects like English, math, and sciences has now become a full-fledged program of various subjects, which includes home sciences, personal development, languages, history, general knowledge. And we have a whole structured approach to this program. Not only do we have students who are teaching students, but we have special talks like the one we have today, wherein we invite experts in their field who come and give talks for the public. And like I said, it is such a pleasure and an honor to introduce Dr. Gulnaz Harun Rashid today. It's very special for me because Dr. Gulnaz was a colleague, and since then I have such high regards for her. The way she serves her patients, the way she makes them feel comfortable. It's, she tries to befriend them first, and then she's a doctor to them. And don't get carried away by her young looks, because she is an she is a MBBS, a DGO, an MRCOG, an FRCOG from UK. She has a professional diploma in healthcare administration. She is an obstetrician and gynecologist at Jeddah National Hospital, her current position here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. She has more than 30 years of experience, and 25 years of that has been in Jeddah. So we are very lucky to have her here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Like I said, she's currently practicing in Jeddah National Hospital. And if that wasn't enough, she is also doing her master's in healthcare management from the Swiss Business School. So Dr. Gulnaz will be talking today about breast cancer awareness. She will also be having a Q&A session. Though her talk will be in English, but she is more than welcome to answer your questions in English, Urdu, or Hindi. So over to you, Dr. Gulnaz. Welcome again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samira Mohsin. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I will start with my Islamic greetings. Peace and blessings be upon you all. Namaskaram, Sat Sri Akal, Wanakam, and I welcome you all for this small talk, which will be basically in English, but as Dr. Samira said, I wouldn't have any problem to speak in Hindi or Urdu. If any time you feel that you are getting stuck up with with understanding, please do not hesitate to ask me any questions. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Basically, like as Dr. Samira Mohsin said, like I'm a gynecologist and obstetrician. I hail from India, but I have been practicing in Saudi Arabia for the last 25 years. In between, I went to UK in proper London, where I got my MRCOG, and then later on I got my fellowship from the most prestigious college of the world, that is Royal College of Obstetrician and Gynecologists. And it's an honor to be associated with Paro and Parao. It's such a noble cause, great going, great thinking. May Allah and the Supreme Lord best give you the best of the luck and make you prosperous in all your endeavors. And I wish I will be a part of this program in the future also. And thank you wholeheartedly, Samira, for giving me an opportunity to come and discuss or befriend with you all to have an open discussion about the most commonest cancer of women. Well, as women, we take pride that we are belonging to the nature, Mother Nature, we give birth, we are responsible for the progeny, but at the same time, for no fault of ours, we are put to risk. And cancer breast is one of the leading cause of cancers and deaths in women. And particularly, like, I can say it is worldwide. I have got presentation, but I don't want to put the slideshow on and make you focus on that, so that you'll be just trying to read the slides and you will not try to understand a simple language. Okay. So let me just explain to you. Breast cancer, I'm sure, like, it is so much there on the internet. Everybody today logs on to whatever you want. It is found on the Google, it is found on the internet. And this is the most common thing that is spoken about. And if you see, lots of campaigns are going on. And now we know October is called the breast cancer month, and 23rd October is called as breast cancer day. And it's also like, in short, instead of calling it, Pinktober, they call it, because most of the cancer awareness programs relating to breast cancer is done throughout the world, be it Far East or the Far West or in the Middle East, everywhere. And breast cancer has taken this important position in the world. And of course, I must say that men are jealous because women are giving so much importance, and there are a lot of criticism because why this breast cancer alone is getting so much funding, so much campaign, so much, So there are various critics in this world who do criticize this breast cancer awareness. Now, if I'm going to tell you, in spite of decades of progress in the treatment, in the improved diagnostic tools, modalities, better treatments, a deeper understanding of genetic risk factors, and stronger support networks, breast cancer still remains the most common cancer in women. Now, today I am here to tell you all why it is so. So if you're not able to follow any time, please do not hesitate to raise your hands and stop me so that I can explain why it is happening, because it's very important for us to know. We are here to make awareness, and we are here to make strategic steps and great strides towards the goal to prevent it. And if I tell you I'm not wrong, this is one of the cancer where we can prevent totally and treat completely if we diagnose at the proper time and the right time with the right management. Okay. Now, what is more concerning, the overall incidence of breast cancer is projected to double globally by year 2040.
Oh, God.
Okay. So Samira, if you tell me how many of us are here around in this lecture, because I have not put the participants. So if I tell you, one in, like, if you are coming from India alone, one in 22 people are at high risk to develop breast cancer. Supposing I say about states, Western countries, it is 1 in 12. Okay. and Belgium has the highest, New Zealand. Although they are the most developed countries, they are having the maximum number of cases of breast cancer in spite of awareness, in spite of treatment modality. Why? Basically, I'm going to list out some of the factors which are giving us, putting us at high risk. Okay. So now more than ever, we need to focus our efforts on finding ways to reduce the risk of breast cancer. Okay. It's very critical for women and girls to learn what they need to know about to reduce the risk of breast cancer so they can make the best choices in their everyday lives. Now, coming to like, if I want to just brief you a little bit of the biology of breast development, from the beginning, it starts within the womb. Okay. So if I tell you breast tissue is present even in the males. So men are also at risk.
Yes.
So this cancer is not sparing even the men. Okay. As I said, breast starts before birth, development starts before that. And the maximum breast tissue development is formed during adolescence. Okay. So we have to take care, especially I was telling Dr. Samira, to target even the school going girls, because we all think that only married women should be having this cancer breast awareness. But no, we should start at an earlier age. And if you see the global outlook, many young girls are reaching the puberty at an early age. They are
Yes.
getting into sexual activity for which they take oral contraceptive pills, okay, at an earlier age. So all this causes a risk factor. So we should target not only the women. I am sure in the future, if I get an opportunity, of you get a opportunity, please target even the school going girls, and let's have campaigns in the universities, high schools, so that these are the future of us. And we have predicted, like, the cancer is going to have a double the amount of the people. So we should target these young girls so that they take utmost precautions so that we can prevent this deadly disease. And there are myths. Once a cancer doesn't mean it's a death sentence. ये जानलेवा बीमारी नहीं है. Okay. So please do not panic. Although I know I told you that we are all put at risk just because we are having breast tissue, we are at risk. Okay. So we are going to develop breast cancer by somehow or other, but doesn't mean that we can be that 99% or 90% lucky people who are not going to get. But what if we get? We have to take precautions. How we are going to know that what are the risk factors, which I'm going to put you now. Okay. Now, if I tell you what is breast cancer risk factor, what is risk factor? It is something that increases the odds of developing breast cancers, such as having an inherited genetic mutation, taking extra hormone medications, and being exposed to particular chemicals and radiation. Okay. Many people think breast cancer is all about family history and inherited genes. If I tell you only 10% of this breast cancer is due to familial heredity, the rest is 90% of us we can have just like that. It is without
Okay.
any precipitating factor, without any familial disease. So 90% of us without any family history, we are still at risk of developing breast cancer. Now,
Mhm.
why do you think breast cancer has increased now? Just because of modernization, modern life that has changed the environments both outside and inside our bodies. Now, if I tell you, the first reality is more women are living longer. Well, it's a good news because our progeny is increased, our longevity is increased, but at the same time, we are at the biggest risk to develop breast cancer. Our genes are more likely to develop new harmful mutations and less able to repair the genetic damage. The other reality is puberty and breast development are starting earlier. If you remember, our great grandfathers or great grandmothers or our great grand aunts used to tell that the puberty started at the age of 14 or 15 or 16. But you won't be surprised if I tell you that girls are having puberty at the age of 7, 9, the earliest is 7 nowadays. That because of the food what we are taking. It is because of
Yeah.
our exposure to the environment. So early puberty is a risk factor. Okay. Now the third reality is people, especially women, are delaying pregnancy or not having full-term pregnancies because we are competing with the Western world. We want to, like, the circumstances has changed. Earlier only men were working, now women are working. So they want to delay their marriage, they want to delay their pregnancy, then after pregnancy they want to delay their childbearing. Okay, this is again one of the risk factors. This is a reality which is happening now. Fewer women breastfeed, very less, only few women. According to WHO, which is our governing body, World Health Organization, they tell us to breastfeed at least minimum of 6 months. If you say the Islamic teaching, up to 2 years. But are we following that? No. And when we don't follow certain things, certain norms, when we go against nature, naturally we have to take the brunt of it. So people or women, especially because of the workload, they are working in the offices, or because of the beauty, they think, breast is only for, it's a sex symbol or attraction. They don't want to spoil their figure. They are hesitant to breastfeed the babies. So again, this is one of the risk factors to put the women to have a cancer. So at least, like, for minimum 6 months, we should purely breastfeed the children. Other reality is more adolescents and women take prescription hormones. Okay, they start oral contraceptive pills at an earlier age, and supposing they reach menopause, something called as hormone replacement therapy is there, which makes a woman to continue her femininity. So they take estrogen and progesterone. So in they have to, like, they want to have the natural lifestyle instead of undergoing the natural menopause. After attaining menopause, they take hormone replacement therapy. Again, this is a risk factor for us to develop breast cancer. Now, if you know, how many of us are seeing obesity in the modern world? More women and girls are overweight or obese. Again, this is a risk factor. What happens when we are obese or when we are overweight? We tend to eat more, we accumulate fat, especially around our waist. This is going to, our fat cells are going to produce estrogen, which is a prime important factor which causes us breast cancer. So obesity, again, like, we are all afraid, not only the breast cancer. Obesity has got many other side effects, which I'm not going to touch on, many risk factors. So obesity is also a reality which has led us to have increased breast cancer. Now, the next is more women and girls are physically inactive. Why? Because most of the time they are on the social media angles, if you see, or if we see now pandemic, I'm afraid because of pandemic, the risk of breast cancer or other diseases may increase because we are more vulnerable, because we have been indoors, we are exposed to the radiation, we are sitting at one place, sedentary lifestyle, online, less exposure to the sunlight, less activity. All this again is a risk factor for us. And another thing, we want to copy other people. It's a nature for us. Mostly, like, we think drinking alcohol, consuming alcohol is a fashionable thing, or it enhances our social status. So more women started to consume alcohol. So when alcohol, alcohol consumption leads to decreased immunity, and the natural wear and tear of the cells, again, is going to put us at risk. All right. The other thing, many women started smoking. Although we read smoking kills, but no, we are started to smoke more than what our parents or fathers or for mothers were used to do that. It has become again a signal of social status, that if we smoke, we are more modern. And especially passive smoking. Supposing, like, we smoke, we go with the friends, smoke shisha more, and then we try to put our smoke to the whole of the atmosphere. Again, that is a very high risk factor. Passive smoking also is injurious to our health. The other reality is many women have low levels of vitamin D. Again, this is particularly important in place because we are not going outdoors, less exposure, which is going to put us to more risk factor to develop breast cancer again. It is a reality. I'm not talking it's a myth. It's all realities. What I'm speaking so far is all realities. Don't you think so? We are stressed and sleep deprived these days?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. How many of us like we sleep and get up on time? Early to bed, early to rise is a bygone days. It's an old saying now. People are awake till 2, 3 o'clock in the night. Then again, they get up. If they are Muslims or praying on time, they'll get up. Again, they do not have continuous sleep. This again, stress causes wear and tear of our cells, leading to decreased immunity. And then once we are exposed to risk factors, chances are that we are going to develop breast cancer. Okay. Women and girls are exposed to more environment pollutants. You know, we are all eating fornicated food, fortified food, pollutants. People are injecting steroids, vitamins so that, and even antibiotics in the meat and poultry so that they don't develop the, infection when the food is in the market. So we are all eating that. So again, this is going to cause us, although we think that we wash the food after washing, if you thoroughly check, at least minimum 13 pollutants will be found in our fruits and vegetables in spite of thoroughly washing this. And there are studies, it's not just a myth. There are studies, there are research which proves that, insecticides, pollutants, chemical pollutants, they are all harmful to our health, leading to a risk factor for us to develop. Okay. Now, I hope so far I'm clear.
Yes, very clear.
Yeah. Okay. If anybody wants me to speak in Urdu or English, please raise your hands and I'm going to chat about that. Okay. Now, how are we going to prevent all this? How are we going to think that we are at risk factors? As I said, 10% of us have genetic factors, that is hereditary. So always we should ask, how did our mothers die? How did our aunts die? How did our grandparents die? Was it due to cancer? If that cancer, was it due to breast cancer or any other cancer in the body like endometrial cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, colon cancer, thyroid cancer? All these have got genetic predisposition, which has got genetic mutations on our genes. What are genes? Genes are small, tiny DNA fragments, okay, which are helpful or which code for us to develop our proteins, which is a bodybuilding material in our body. When there are some changes, which are called as mutations, so something which has to grow normally will lead to abnormal growth. So when
Yes.
mutations happen, sometimes it can be genetic. Okay, that means a parent passes on to her daughter or like granddaughter. This is genetic. Okay, sometimes it can be somatic. It's just by due to environment factor or because of the food or because of the so many factors which I told, our genes get mutations. So that's why our cells, which are supposed to be normally formed, are getting abnormal directions to develop into abnormal cells, which are cancer. What is cancer? Cancer is nothing but it's an abnormal growth or overgrowth of normal cells, which has got a different signal and has a different effects. Okay, that is why it is called as cancer. They are not the normal cells, they are abnormal cells to abnormal signal. That's why we get cancer. Now, how are we going to stop all these things? I'm going to just generally talk a few things. We have to think twice. Okay. Challenges, the ways you have to always done things. Make sure that you are taking full advantage of your doctor's recommendations. Consider how your non-medical choices can enhance. Avoid taking extra hormones. Like instead of taking contraceptive pills or HRT, if you want contraception, there are various methods. Okay. You can go for copper IUCD or barrier contraception. Okay. So go for a healthy exercise and routine. Get to a healthy weight and routine and stick to it. Do regular exercises, at least 3 to 4 hours of exercise per week. Best is 5 to 7 hours. And limit your alcohol. If you're not having any alcohol habits, don't try to indulge in just to have a modern life. Okay, stop smoking completely. Don't even sit with people who smoke, because as I said, passive smoking is more dangerous. It even not only causes breast cancer, also causes lung cancer and various other cancers. So don't even sit with the people who smoke. Okay, tell them, please, excuse me, if you want to smoke, you either get out or you get out away from them, because it is our lives and we are basically responsible to safeguard our lives and our health. Nobody else is responsible for our health. We are the main person or main target. We are targeted, so we are responsible, so we are accountable too. So we have to make sure that we take every step to get rid of this disease now, and try to get fresh air. Go outdoors, at least go for a walk. Don't, even though now it is pandemic, don't stay indoors all the time. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, go out and reduce the exposure at the maximum, that is between 10 to 2. Don't go out at that hour, because maximum ultraviolet rays which are harmful also are there, so avoid that. Otherwise you go take fresh air. Okay, and avoid unnecessary radiation. We know ionizing radiation is there nowadays, even this blue radiation. There are some studies where women try to keep their mobiles in their breast bras, and there are studies that there are researchers, they are developing breast cancer just because of the constant keeping the mobile phone inside. It is again, we all know that even the mobile is next to us, it is emitting radiation which is harmful. We know it is causing us eye cancer, brain cancer. So many cancers are being formed because of this radiation. So avoid unnecessary radiation and get enough vitamin D. Okay, that is best is sun exposure. Nowadays, people they go out, put lots of sunscreening. Okay, fine. Sunscreening is better. They may avoid skin cancer, but they will be depriving vitamin D. So if you are not exposed to enough sun exposure, try taking vitamin D supplements in the food, and eat your fruits and veggies more. Try to avoid too much of poultry and meat, which is especially processed food, because in the processed food or the farm based food, they have got more of additive, preservatives, lots of chemicals, which is harmful to our. So when we are selecting food and beverages, we have to be very careful. Select only the best things. Okay, and read your labels, know your labels well, know your packaging. And when it comes to eating, eat small frequent meals. What happens, people want to have something called as like parties, starving to lose weight. They starve for 12 hours, 14 hours, then when they take a meal, they eat a large meal. So don't take a large meal, try frequent, because this is enhance and stimulate your metabolism, which is going to be of useful to you all. Okay, and then cook real food. We know hunger station is there, Zomato is there, everything is there nowadays, which is at your fingertip. The food is served on the table, but how are we sure how is it made, how is it prepared? Processed food, canned food, so all this you have to avoid it. And you have to start like cooking healthy food by yourself. Again, when it comes to storage and cooking materials, you have to use safe cookware and storage containers. Avoid plastics. There are particular plastics which are dangerous to our health. And if you want to microwave it, you can microwave, but use glass or ceramics instead of using plastics. And if you are using non-stick ware, don't heat up too much, because when you heat up too much, they release chemicals. And again, it is harmful to our health. Okay. And when you're choosing your personal and products like deodorants, although the deodorants, like when there are studies, they are little harmful and they can affect in the animals, but not proven on human beings so far, that putting deodorants may develop cancer. But in some mice and which are experimental, there are, okay, there are studies. And go green. Try to use maximum organic labeled foods instead of taking processed or canned foods. Go organic. Try to get more of greens, more of colorful vegetables and fruits. So these are the common things. And not to forget, you have to sleep well. at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep, continuous, without interruptions. If you are going to, at least 4 hours sleep is a must without interruption. This is healthy. If you get 6 hours, it's more than, it's very good. And then consider earlier pregnancy. Once you become pregnant, try to reach full term and then target breastfeeding. Minimum 6 months, and if you can, if it's available, the sources are available, and if you can, try to breastfeed the baby for 2 years. Okay, and most importantly, believe in yourself and lead by example. Okay?
That was
Be the change you wish to see in the world. Okay. These are the realities and some of the tidbits. And if you want me to speak about the screening, I can just give a small 1 or 2 minutes talk on that. Okay. I can say you what is screening, what is diagnostic test. Screening is some test which we do before we have some symptoms. Okay. Supposing if I think I am at risk due to my profession, my health environment, my work environment, or my family history, I will go for an early testing, okay, to detect if I am having some sort of disease. And now when we are speaking about breast cancer, it is about breast cancer. So I'll tell you about breast cancer screening. There are various methods. The most important thing is self-breast examination. What is self-breast examination? Okay, we don't have to feel shy because breast is a part of our own body. Okay, when we bathe or when we are not around with anybody, so you have to examine the breast properly. There are two methods. One is look, other is touch. So when you stand up in front of the mirror, you have to expose your upper half of the body, and either you raise your hands up or you put your hands across your body and try to see your breast, whether there is any difference between the size and shape of your breast, if there is any color change on the skin, redness or bluish, or there are any increased vascular markings, or if there are any skin coloring, puckering of the nipples, or the skin becomes like the peel of an orange, which we call as spotty orange. So you have to just see, naturally when you see healthy breast, both the breasts are little different in sizes. The symmetry is not exact. Both the breasts are not the same size, but one is small, one is big. This is natural. But the appearance of the skin, the coloring, sometimes, the pain, all that has to cause you alarm and then go and seek medical advice. Now coming to clinical breast examination, what is the difference between self breast examination and clinical breast examination? Self is I am doing myself. Like I don't have to be a health worker. I can be myself. I can be a non-medico. I can be a doctor or nurse. Anybody can do a self breast examination. But when the examination is done by a clinical personnel like health worker, it could be a doctor or nurse, it can be a gynecologist, can be a radiologist, it can be even oncologist, general surgeon, anybody who is a health worker, when he examines your breast, it is called as clinical breast examination. And then comes mammography. When do you guys have to do this clinical breast examination or self breast examination? It is very simple. You should start clinical breast examination if you think that you're sexually active at an early age, start an early age. Otherwise, studies are recommending, there are different schools. Some say you should start at the age of 18. Some say you should start at the age of 20. It's fine, no problem. 2 years is not making any difference. So you should do every month at least once. Okay. When do you have to do this? Immediately after the periods, because most of the time breasts are tender during periods. Okay. Once you finish your period, after a week or so, you try to examine your breast by yourself. Some may be feeling comfortable when they are in the bathroom. You lather some soap and gently apply. And there are various methods. I'm sure like people must have gone through in the net. If you have any doubt, I can explain even that later on. So either you can lie down, stand, both the ways are correct. As long and supposing you feel that something is abnormal, you find any lump or there is skin changes in the color or nipple is retracted, that is pulled inwards, you just seek immediate medical attention, go to a doctor. And then mammography. What is mammography? Okay, it is not the same as chest x-ray. X-ray to the chest is, where you see the lungs. When you are doing x-ray to your breast, this is called as mammogram. And there it is just simple X-ray, but the machines are totally different. It's a special machine, and it's a special technique where a breast is compressed against a plate and they take different views. Mostly two views are taken, like from up and from the sides. There, if anything is there which you have missed clinically, you can detect by the X-rays. This is called as mammogram. When do you do mammogram? So people recommend once you're at the age of 40 to 44, maybe it is your choice. You can do it every year. But once you're 45 and up to 54, it is a necessity that you do at least once a year. And particularly so, you do frequently every 6 months, supposing you have a strong familial history, like your mother or grandmother or aunt, maternal side, or even somebody in the paternal father side has got this cancer. Not only just breast cancer, even if it's, as I said, like any other cancer in the body, if they have, you can have a frequent and earlier breast screening. Okay. Sometimes to complement that, we do ultrasound. Mostly ultrasounds are done if the woman is less than 40. But if the woman is above 40, we do mammogram. Okay. Nowadays, we have advanced testing. What is that? We have MRIs. Then, this mammogram, which normally we are doing is 2D. Supposing we add 3D, we take multiple films and we put more of the radiation and we take very thin slices so that we don't mix even micro-invasive cancer. Even the smallest cancer we do not miss. This is called as tomosynthesis. These are all futuristic modes of investigations which are coming into existence now. Okay. I hope I have made things clear.
I think that
Anybody
was
has any doubt or anything?
very clear, Dr. Gulnaz. I think there were a couple of questions that have come through. One, I think Aisha, Mrs. Aisha Seema just wanted you to please remind her of the time that we should. What's a good time to go outdoors? You had mentioned some time about when the radiation.
Better if it is just for the vitamin D exposure, 20 minutes exposure is enough. Okay. Right. 10 to 2 is better to avoid. But if you have no other choice, you go out, but not more than 20 minutes of direct exposure. So if you are going out, wear a cap, like a broad brim cap, okay, hat, which you call it, and you can just go out. Okay. But not like necessary. You should have been outside outdoors for 4 hours, 5 hours. No. Okay. Right. 20 minutes exposure and 3 to 4 times a week is more than enough.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's very clear. I think you had mentioned, Dr. Gulnaz, about about the shisha culture. Yeah. It's become so prevalent in our society, especially here in Jeddah, in Saudi Arabia, and the Middle Eastern countries. And many people are under the impression that shishas are safe, but
shishas are not safe. Why? Because if you say they smoke and keep it in their mouth for long hours, the whole thing is getting absorbed. Okay, not only it is going to cause you, it's just as I told you, become a symbol of fashion.
Yes.
And modernization. That's it. Okay. No, underwired underwear are not harmful. People say that if you wear an underwired bra, you're going to get breast cancer. No, it is a myth.
Someone is asking how many kinds of breast cancer. Are there any different types of breast cancer?
Yeah, there are different types of breast cancer. It depends on the origin. Most common is the duct. As you know, breast is a milk producing organ for us. So it produces milk. There are ducts. So the commonest is the ductal cancer. But again, where we have got lobular cancer, which is fibrous tissue, which is around the ducts, which is quite rare. But once it happens, it is quite malignant. Okay. And there are stages of cancer, different stages. Like I did not go into details because it's just a breast cancer awareness. There are 4 stages of cancers, 0 to 4, if it's within the breast and depending on the size of the tumor, like nodule, if it's less than 2 centimeters, it's more than 2 to 5, or if lymph cancer attack, if you have got just lymph nodes, what about? So one of the question is here, is small lymph node in axial mammogram okay with benign cyst in the breast? Yeah, lymph node, can be not, it can be due to many reasons. Can be due to some inflammation. Okay. So if
Okay.
it's just a benign cyst, so whenever you have any doubts, go and seek the assistance or consult a breast surgeon, where we can confirm that with a biopsy. So there is no harm in doing biopsies. Mammography is sensitive only for 87% of the cases. In
Okay.
13%, they may not be diagnosed, and we have false positive also. So all this we have to bear in mind.
Okay. There's a
So is the
very
saggy breast more susceptible to breast cancer? It
yeah.
doesn't, it is not the amount of saggy breast or dense breast and all. In that, it again depends on your own natural mechanism, which is natural killer cells, immunity, and various risk factors. And breast tissue, whether even the earliest breast cancer which was found in a human being was in a girl of 8 years age.
Oof.
So you can imagine 8 years, what type of breast development would have happened. So she lost her breast. Mastectomy was done when she was at 10 years of age.
Oh
So
dear.
yes, so it is not the size exactly. Like we are subject to so many other things.
Right.
It depends where you are located. Should we see gynae or surgeon if we observe any symptoms? Like, most of the places we have nowadays, especially oncologists. You can either go, oncologist, the one who is directly dealing with the cancers. You can either go to the oncologist. If you have only surgeons in your place, go to surgeons. If you are shy, you can go to gynae. But there are restrictions in some places where the gynecologists are not allowed to take part of the breast cancer surgeries, or the breast symptoms, breast problems. Only the breast surgeons or the general surgeons do. But in some countries, they are allowed to do both. So it is up to your choice and the facilities available. Either you can go to a gynecologist or a surgeon.
Right. There's a few other questions
Yes,
about
there is a
the
relationship with menopause and breast cancer. Yes.
right.
As I said, like, in menopausal women, the death rate, if you get, it's not because of the menopause directly is it's a death sentence that you're going to get. Again, breast cancer have got various risk factors. If you have these risk factors, you may develop. And once you get cancer in menopause, it may become metastatic very soon, because people usually don't approach the doctors, don't detect it earlier. Maybe, the death rate is rated high. And if we say in India, 1 in 29 women who are in urban places, like in the modern cities, they develop cancer. If you take the census in the rural areas, it is 1 into 60. Why? All because of our living habits, our lifestyles. हमारे जीवन शैली जो है, उसकी वजह से जो शहरों में रहते हैं, वो विलेजेस में रहते हैं, उनको कम होता है, शहरों में रहने वालों को ज्यादा होता है.
ज़्यादा होता है. Okay. A few specific questions, doctor. Okay, if there is a burning sensation in a small part of the breast sometimes, is that something to be worried about? I mean,
it again depends on your, suppose on your age and during a menstrual cycle. Some people, which we call as premenstrual symptoms. We have premenstrual symptoms. Before we start our periods, we find some uneasiness, some burning sensation or pain, and could be normal. But nevertheless, whenever it causes your concern, seek medical advice. Okay. It is not always a problem, but it is always better to rule out. If you think that it is unusual, something new has occurred and it is persistent, it is bothering you, always seek medical help.
Got it. There are a few questions here that ladies have asked on the type of bra that they're wearing. I mean, if you wear underwired or black colored,
there is no risk if you're wearing underwire. It doesn't cause breast cancer.
Okay, excellent. I think all the questions that we have received in the chat box, we have
answered almost all.
We have answered all of them. Yes, ladies, कोई और questions हैं आपके पास? कुछ और आप पूछना चाहेंगी?
माइक ओपन करके आप पूछ सकते हैं.
जी, please, you can open. I think
omega-3 capsules does avoid to help, one question is there, do omega-3 capsules help us to avoid breast cancer? Yes. Again, as I said, poultry and meat, they are not rich in free fatty acids, omega-3 capsules. Fish is healthier for us. So it does help to avoid breast cancer or any other form of diseases like, diabetes, hypertension. So they're all like most of them, basically it is the wear and tear of the cells and our immune responses. So it is going to increase and enhance our immunity. So it will be helpful for us. So we should take omega-3 capsules.
Excellent. Ladies, कोई और questions हैं? Yeah, omega-3 का तो आपने answer कर दिया है, doctor. Do we have any more questions before we end the session?
I have one question.
जी, please.
Actually, Dr. Guna, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम सलाम.
जैसे अभी शुरू में आपने बताया कि ये भी एक मिथ्स का किया कि ये मतलब जेनेटिकली ये 10% चांसेस होते हैं कि जेनेटिकली ये 10% ट्रांसफर हो जाता है आगे ऑफस्प्रिंग्स में. तो आई हैव रेड समवेयर कि जिनका मेंस्ट्रुएशन पीरियड देर से स्टार्ट होता है और देर तक चलता है, they are more prone to breast cancer. Is it right?
As I said, no. Early, अभी जो reality है, it causes like early puberty and देर तक चलता है मतलब कि like again your hormones are more. ठीक है?
Right.
तो लेट चलने से आपके एस्ट्रोजन प्रोजेस्टेरोन काम नहीं कर रहे हैं. लेट होने से इतना नहीं होता है जितना अर्ली शुरू होता है. जैसे मैंने कहा, जैसे अर्ली प्यूबर्टी हो रही है आजकल, उसमें ज्यादा चांसेस है टू गेट. बल्कि द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग इज लाइक हाउ हेल्थी इज योर ब्रेस्ट. क्या आपने अपना ब्रेस्ट का काम किया क्या नहीं, आपने दूध पिलाया है कि नहीं, आपने प्रेग्नेंट हुआ है कि नहीं, वो ज्यादा है बनिस्बत के लेट मेनोपॉज है. जैसे मैंने कहा, होता है तो वर्स्ट कंडीशन में पहचान में आता है. ठीक है,
Okay.
ठीक है.
Thank you.
यहाँ chat box में I think there are a couple of more questions. Can we get
the enough
Yeah.
dosage of, again cod liver oil capsules you have to check what is the strength.
जी
1000 मिलीग्राम है या नहीं है, कितना उसके अंदर कॉड लिवर में है, ऑयल में, ऑल दैट डिपेंड्स. बेबी का डोज है, कौन से फैक्ट्री का, कौन सी कंपनी का है, कहाँ मैन्युफैक्चर हो रहा है, कितना ओरिजिनल है.
जी, आप कोई recommend करेंगी ये any particular one that you would recommend?
ओमेगा-3 का तो जो भी नेचुरल आता है, लेकिन वी ऑलवेज टेल गो फॉर नेचुरल, लेकिन फार्म प्रोड्यूस फिश से अच्छा, जो जैसे इंडिया के अंदर है, यहाँ पे जो सी वाटर से ज्यादा रिवर वाटर फिश होते हैं वो ज्यादा अच्छी होती है. और अगर आपने बना के खाया है वो ज्यादा अच्छा होता है. बेक्ड एंड ग्रिल खाएं तो ज्यादा अच्छा होता है बनिस्बल कैप्सूल से, क्योंकि कैप्सूल के अंदर अगेन प्लास्टिक रहता है, अदर केमिकल्स आल्सो विल बी एडेड. गोलियां में जो होते हैं ना, जो आउटसाइड सप्लीमेंट्स होते हैं, उसके अंदर अदर केमिकल्स भी होते हैं. अगर आप नेचुरल खाते हैं तो बहुत अच्छा है. जैसे समन खा लिया और टूना खा लिया, एनी टाइप ऑफ फिश खा लिया, वो ज्यादा अच्छा होता है. बेक करके खा लिया, ग्रिल करके खा लिया, ज्यादा अच्छा रहता है. सो अनदर क्वेश्चन आयशा के, आपने अराउंड 32 में आपने कौन से टेस्ट नहीं किए पहले, आपने क्या टेस्ट किए थे? ओके, एनीवे, एक क्वेश्चन है लाइक somebody has stopped the periods at early menopause हो गया था, premature ovarian failure हो गया था. तो उसके बाद लाइक फॉर सम टाइम आपको अगर चाहो तो जस्ट फॉर योर फेमिनिटी के वजह से या आपकी हेल्थ कंडीशन अलाउ कर रही है, आप थोड़े साल के लिए ना आप एस्ट्रोजन प्रोजेस्टेरोन ले सकते हो, बट एट ए स्ट्रेच अप टू ओनली 5 years. 5 years के बाद आपको गैप देना ही है.
अच्छा
जी 5 साल से ऊपर के बाद खा सकते हैं.
ओके डॉक्टर. नहीं, एक ये भी क्वेश्चन आया है कि if you have cysts in the breast,
अगर देखो फाइब्रोएडिनोसिस सिस्ट है, वो बिनाइन कंडीशन होता है. खाली सिस्ट होने से कैंसर नहीं होते, बट यू हैव टू, उसको हम लोग को ना फॉलो अप करना पड़ता है.
बिल्कुल.
ओके.
हिस्टेरेक्टमी से आपकी रिस्क बढ़ती है क्या, ये पूछ रहे हैं किसी ने, फातिमा ने.
हिस्टेरेक्टमी से नहीं बढ़ता है. अगर हिस्टेरेक्टमी के बाद आपने HRT हार्मोन रिप्लेसमेंट थेरेपी लिया तो रिस्क बढ़ता है. अच्छा,
Okay.
किसी ने पूछा है ब्लैक ब्रा पहनने से ये होता है, मैंने ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ये साइंटिफिक नहीं है, ये मिथ है। ब्लैक ब्रा से ना अब्जॉर्प्शन नहीं होता, रेडिएशन ज्यादा होता है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। लेकिन कुछ चीजें नेट पे आई थी कि ब्लैक ब्रा से ना कैंसर होता है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है।
Okay. Doctor, I think we have answered all the questions. Thank you so much. आपका हमने इतना आज टाइम ले लिया आपकी छुट्टी के दिन, और ये एक और बस क्वेश्चन, दिस इज द लास्ट क्वेश्चन आई होप। अगर वन साइड पे कैंसर हो तो क्या दूसरी साइड पे भी जरूर होगा?
जरूर नहीं होगा, हो सकता है,
ठीक है,
क्योंकि वो आपका ब्रेस्ट टिश्यू है। लेकिन
सही।
इसीलिए अगर आपको जेनेटिक कॉजेस है तो हम लोग जेनेटिक प्रीडिस्पोजिंग फैक्टर्स में जाते हैं, उसमें डायग्नोसिस करते हैं। अगर जेनेटिक फैक्टर है तो प्रोफाइलैक्टिकली यानी होने से पहले दूसरा ब्रेस्ट भी निकाल देते हैं, या अगर लंप है तो लंपेक्टमी करते हैं या रेडिएशन थेरेपी देते हैं। ठीक है, प्रोफाइलैक्टिक मतलब कि प्रिवेंटिव, बिफोर इट
Prevent.
हैपन।
Okay, okay.
हो सकता है बट नॉट नजरिए के जरूर नहीं होता, इट इज नॉट 100%, बट लेकिन कैन हो सकता
Okay,
है।
ठीक है। Thank you so much,
अस्सलामुअलैकुम।
doctor. वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
जी, ये मेरे को एक सवाल ये पूछना था कि ये पीरियड्स कौन सी एज में बंद होते हैं?
देखो, एवरेज एज
Ladies को।
औरत की है 51 ईयर्स, ठीक है।
अच्छा,
लेकिन आपका फैमिली हिस्ट्री में जल्दी बंद होता है तो कभी जल्दी भी बंद हो सकता है, कभी देर। तो एवरेज एज एक औरत के अंदर 50 पर 1 साल है, 51 साल है। लेकिन कुछ कंडीशंस होते हैं जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं कि 40 साल के पहले भी बंद हो सकता है, उसको हम बोलते हैं प्रीमेच्योर ओरियन फेलियर। उसके भी बहुत सारे असबाब है, अलग अलग हेल्थ कंडीशन की वजह से आपके पीरियड्स बंद होते हैं, फिर उसको आपको डिटेल में जांच कराना पड़ेगा। लेकिन
Okay.
एवरेज है 51 इयर्स। किसी के 45 47 में हो सकता है बंद होएगा, किसी को 49 में, किसी को 53 में, किसी को 55 में भी बंद हो सकते हैं। तो एवरेज एज है 51।
Okay.
अच्छा,
या फर्टिलिटी पिल्स से भी हो सकता? फर्टिलिटी पिल्स जो लेते हैं,
फर्टिलिटी पिल्स हम लोग मोर देन 6 मंथ्स एक साथ में नहीं देते कि हमेशा ब्रेक देते हैं, क्योंकि सब हार्मोन्स है ना, तो कौन से क्या रिएक्ट करते हैं। तो हम लोग 6 महीने देते हैं, फिर गैप देते हैं, फिर 6 महीने देते हैं, और मोर देन 2 इयर्स नहीं देते हम लोग।
अच्छा,
Okay.
फर्दर उसके चांसेस है क्या? जैसे कि लाइफ में अगर एक बार खाए अपन पिल्स लाइक 6
नहीं,
मंथ्स
एक बार खाने से नहीं कुछ होता है, नहीं। कॉन्टिन्यूअस एक्सपोजर होना चाहिए, एक बार खाने से, एक गोली खाने से रिस्क नहीं पड़ता है।
नहीं, लाइक वन बेबी में फर्स्ट 3 मंथ्स खाए, एक बेबी पे सेकंड बेबी के लिए फिर 3 मंथ्स ऐसा खा के ऐसा
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ
छोड़िए।
नहीं होता, नहीं कुछ नहीं होता।
ओके,
Okay. जी, और कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं लेडीज आपके before we wrap up? I think Dr. Gulnaz, we've covered
अच्छा,
everything.
ठीक है। अगर मैं मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन मैं आपको ग्रुप में शेयर कर दूंगी, जिसको
जी,
भी
please.
अगर चाहे, अगर हेल्प हो सकता है मैं आपको शेयर करूंगी, आप आगे भेज दीजिएगा। और मैंने नेट से ना अच्छे से वो निकाले हैं जो रिस्क फैक्टर्स है एंड व्हाट आर द हेल्थी टिप्स, और हाउ यू हैव टू एग्जामिन योर ब्रेस्ट एंड ऑल। उसके भी मैंने प्रेजेंटेशन अलग से रखे हैं, मैंने आपको ग्रुप में शेयर करना है, तो आप आगे भेज दीजिएगा।
नहीं, जरूर जरूर। थैंक यू सो मच डॉक्टर गुलनाज। आई थिंक दैट विल बी वेरी यूजफुल कि किसी वजह से कोई अगर मतलब प्रेजेंटेशन में नहीं अटेंड करने आ सका तो वी विल फॉरवर्ड दैट टू देम। थैंक यू सो मच, वी आर सो ग्रेटफुल।
And it's been a pleasure and honor for me to come and although इतने सारे लेडीज को मैंने नहीं देखा है, एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला, उसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ।
थैंक यू।
अल्लाह आपके जो इरादे हैं, इंटेंशंस है, उसके अंदर आपको इजाफा करे, बरकत दे, तरक्की दे। What
Thank
about
you.
loop doctors? I have 3 babies. मैंने every baby के बाद 5 ईयर का लूप डाला था। देखो, आप लूप डाला तो उससे इट्स सेफ, कुछ नहीं, ब्रेस्ट कैंसर नहीं होता है, ठीक है। हार्मोन वाला में भी जो हम लोग हार्मोन डालते हैं, ईस्ट्रोजन जो है ना वो कल्प्रिट है, ईस्ट्रोजन वाला। प्रोजेस्टेरोन वाला जो हार्मोन आता है आजकल, यहाँ पे मायरीना बोलते हैं और इंडिया में प्रोजेस्टेट है, उससे कैंसर नहीं होते। इट इज अ हेल्दी फॉर्म ऑफ हार्मोन, ठीक है, उससे कैंसर नहीं होता। ईस्ट्रोजन जहाँ लेते हैं वहां पे कैंसर होता है, ठीक है।
अच्छा, अभी I think prolapse, I think किसी ने prolapse of the cancer, I think कोई पूछ रहा है कि I guess if the cancer if the cancer can come again, I guess that's what she means. फातिमा का
क्या
question है।
क्या लिखा
पूछ
है
रही, उन्होंने ये लिखा है प्लीज टॉक
हाँ
someday
प्लीज
about
टॉक समडे ओके इंशाल्लाह प्रोलैप्स ठीक है बात करेंगे अगर डॉक्टर समीरा ने मुझे मौका दिया तो इंशाल्लाह उसके ऊपर भी मैंने जानबूझ के स्लाइड्स प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं किया क्योंकि आपका ध्यान ना कानों के अंदर नहीं सुनेंगे आप आंखों के साथ देखते रहोगे फिर या तो स्लाइड शो रहता है फिर आप इधर उधर हटेंगे मैं
नहीं,
चाहती थी कि ये दिस इज वन ऑफ द लीडिंग कॉज ऑफ डेथ या मोस्ट कॉमन कैंसर इन विमेन औरतों में ज्यादातर होता है इसलिए मैंने जानबूझ के प्रेजेंटेशन शेयर नहीं किया मैं इसके बाद शेयर करूंगी और जो
जी,
भी
जी।
टिप्स है मैं आपको शेयर करूंगी
I think this was much better डॉक्टर कि हमें एक तो आप देखने को मिल गई थ्रू आउट, एक तो
It's
ये
so
बहुत
sweet of
अच्छा
you.
था। नहीं, and I think this was much better. It was much more interactive and we were actually listening to what all you said. This was a much, and obviously हम लोग you know we're all, most of us are not very familiar with most of the you know terminologies, so I think this was a very good, very personal
Yeah.
approach.
क्योंकि अब भी मैं स्लाइड में डालती ना तो खाली साइंटिफिक टर्मिनोलॉजी होती थी फिर आपके
बिल्कुल।
पल्ले नहीं पड़ते फिर आप मुझे पूछते तो मैं इसलिए
बिल्कुल,
मैंने जानबूझ के अवॉइड किया तो इंटरैक्टिव रखने से ज्यादा फायदा रहेगा और सिंपल लैंग्वेज में जो हम लोग बोलते हैं बोली चाली के अंदर तो ज्यादा अंडरस्टैंडिंग होएगा ज्यादा
effective है वो।
इफेक्टिव होएगा मेरा इंटेंशन वाज टू हैव अ इफेक्टिव टू गिव माय
नहीं
मैसेज
नहीं, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, बहुत आपका इफेक्टिव मैसेज रहा है। थैंक यू सो मच एंड आर बेस्ट विशेस टू यू डॉक्टर। शुक्रिया बहुत
you
बहुत
so
आप
much.
आई, तो आपने टाइम निकाला हम सब के लिए। एंड द फ्रॉम ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ पढ़ो एंड पढ़ाओ, वंस अगेन अ very you know we're very grateful for Dr. Gulnaz and very grateful to these ladies as well who have given us their precious time to understand such an important topic जिसको हम कभी-कभी बहुत easy ले लेते हैं। And thank you once again. Thank you all of you. And this is
My pleasure, Samira. Take care.
thank
All the
you,
best to you.
thank you so much,
Inshallah, I will
doctor.
look forward for another session. Inshallah.
Absolutely, doctor. Absolutely, doctor. All right then. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good
Walaikum salam.
afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wassalam.
Wassalam.